What's up, everyone? It is Tuesday, y'all. It is Tuesday, October the 18th. Once again, welcome to everyone who may be tuning in by Twitter. This is our second day on Twitter, and the response was well received on yesterday. I see you, Deborah Johnson. I see you, Latrice Jones. What's up? I couldn't even get that out. Latrice Jones, what's up? I see you, Rosanna Bivens. I see you, Marion Jackson. I see you, Jeff Payne. I see you, Shirley Nicholson. I see you, Regina Shorts. I see you, Camille Jones. I see you. You said, hey, Curly Sue, I am loving the curls. Okay. I'm loving the curls. I can't believe that it took me 57 years to embrace what I was blessed with. How about that? I see you, Audrey Merritt. I see you. 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 I see you now, Camille. She says, good night. And then she goes, good morning. Isn't it amazing how autocorrect will do some things? Hey, everyone on LinkedIn and on Twitter, we are trying to figure out how to pull your chat into the main chat. So we're working with StreamYard. That's our stream to figure out how to do that. In the meantime, still post because it's my job. And I want to know who's out there. I will come to that platform and will respond after the show. So we're trying to pull you in, but please put your comments out there. We want to hear it. That's why I read a lot of what's on the chat from people so that you all know what's happening. I also do it for our audio listeners so that they too can be a part of the program and the chat and the conversation. I see you, Shardinia. I see you, Dr. Antoinette. I see all of you. Hey, y'all, it is Tuesday, October the 18th, 2022, and it's time for what? It's on the ballot. Tuesdays, we talk about everything that is on the ballot. Don't worry, we're already trying to figure out what we're going to do moving forward after November the 8th, and we do our recap on November the 9th. But y'all, it's on the ballot. It's on the ballot. And also remember, in November, we start leaning towards the different holidays and things that are going on there. So we got shows for you. We have shows for you. Y'all, do y'all realize that we are right at 2.5 years old, just in shy about 30 days? That's what we've been doing right here on NewsInMotion. Okay, y'all, let's get started. Let's get started. I see you, Lori Wallace. Let's get started. Y'all, student debt relief. Don't y'all leave that money on the table. Do not leave the money on the table. Do not leave that money on the table. Don't leave the money on the table. I'll say it one more time. Do not leave that money on the table. As of yesterday about 3 p.m. Eastern time, more than 8 million people had completed that form. I see you, Judy Neal. I sat with someone yesterday who was really like, anxiety driven over completing a form. I said, look, I'm going to come meet up with you, meet me at, a coffee shop, and we're going to sit down. We're going to go through it. I said, I promise you, it takes less than 3 minutes. I said, the president says less than 5 minutes. I'm going to give you the truth. It's probably about 2 minutes long. And if you really just open up your computer and we don't talk, you could probably do that in 60 seconds. When the person was finished, she was like, that's it? I said, that's it. She got her email and said, that's it. Your application has been received. Listen, all you have to put on this form, and Isaiah, I believe Isaiah has the link he's going to put up on the screen. All you have to put on this form. I see you, Pastor Alex. Good morning. I see you, Mike Nicholson. I see you. Regina Short said, my daughter filled out her form. She received an email confirming application was received. Yes, that's the student debt relief. And I believe Isaiah does have a banner he's going to put up on the thing. Thank you. Y'all, you go to www.studentaid.gov/debt relief. There's now another link, but this link will take you right there as well. We'll update the link, but really that link works. Trust me, that link works. She put in her name. She put in her social security number. She put in her address. If there was a maiden name, she put in the maiden name. And I think that was it. Y'all, it's really that simple. It is that simple. Do not leave that money on the table. Don't do it. Don't do it. I see you, Kim Edmondson. So y'all, it's a really simple process. Y'all, come on. It's out there. Let's access that money and use that money. Use that money to pay down your student loan debt. Lori Wallace said, yes, they send it immediately that they received it. I mean, she got it back, but I don't even think we had clicked fully out of it. She hit the submit, the email came. So y'all, there's that. All right, y'all. In other news, I see you, Robert Holman. In other news, the Justice Department wants Steve Bannon in prison. Yes, they do. For 6 months and fined $200,000 for contempt of Congress, a charge resulting from Bannon's refusal to cooperate with the House January 6th committee. There it is, y'all. In a sentencing memo filed Monday ahead of Bannon's October 21st sentencing, prosecutors said that Bannon had refused to disclose his finances as part of the sentencing process, which they argue means that he should be required to pay the largest possible fine for his crime. So, y'all, all that's happening. Just wait for that to unfold. Wait for that to unfold. All right, if I'm holding my right arm a little funny, if I'm holding it a little funny. Now, y'all, this was shot number 5. Yep, the 2 initial vaccines, and this is the 3rd booster. I did it. Y'all know my parents, whether y'all agree or disagree with it, my parents are in their late 80s. My mom is pretty much bedridden. So I wanted to make sure I'm protecting them when I come into their home. So I did that. And plus, it's the holiday, we're getting ready to travel. So I wanted to make sure I had everything taken care of. Y'all, this shot, that's no joke. I'm like, whoa. Usually I've had little tenderness and then it's gone. No, I woke up because I rolled over on her arm wrong. Like, what in the world? Y'all, it's like my arm is on fire. Even today, I'm like, what is this? So listen, y'all, I need to tell y'all this, whether y'all want to hear it or not. I need to tell y'all this. There is a new subvariant that is kicking butt and taking names. Y'all, the variants as political as reports as well as the CDC.gov is known as BQ1 and BQ1.1. They have spread swiftly throughout the United States over the past few weeks and now account for more than 11% of all cases nationwide. And this is according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, y'all, it has roughly doubled the proportion they represented a week earlier, which means it's picking up speed. All right, now let me just share this with you. This is coming from the CDC, and I'm pulling it up. It says the 2 Omicron BA.5 subvariant called BQ1 and BQ1.1 both has dangerous qualities or characteristics that could evade some of the interventions we have. And this is also CBS News reporting from an interview they did with Dr. Fauci himself. It says the 2 subvariants are responsible for more than 11% of all current U.S. cases. And they said just a week before, again, I'm repeating myself, but I want y'all to hear this, it increased. Now, y'all do what y'all want to do. Do what you want to do. You got to do whatever you want to do. But I thought it was interesting. I went into Giant Eagle. I live in Ohio, state of Ohio. I went into Giant Eagle yesterday. And it was packed. I was like, what's going on, Giant? Like, they're giving away some free food. What's happening? Everybody in there had on a mask. I said, now, y'all wouldn't wear masks when they were mandated. Now everybody has one on. I said, what's going on? And so I started doing my research. I said, oh, that's what's going on. So listen, do what you wish. If, I keep a mask in my purse, in my back pocket, in my car, whatever. If you feel uncomfortable, put the mask on. I think you're going to find that a lot of people are wearing the mask right along with you. So I did want to get that information out to you. They're saying now that it's colder outside, and it's like, I think 39 degrees here in Columbus, Ohio. It's colder outside, that people are gathering inside and it's spreading and it's mutating. So I just want to share that information with you. So that's what it is. Deborah says, I got symptoms from that shot. Listen, that shot is no joke. And even when she put it in, I was like, felt that. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And I always massage my arm because they say that helps even if you get the flu shot. If you do it, you do what's best for you. And I walked away from there like, oh, this don't feel right. This don't feel too good. And it has been crazy. So I tried to lift weights this morning. No, not with that arm. That ain't happening. All right, next off, y'all, because we got to get to what's all on the ballot. Kim Edmondson says she went to Kroger yesterday and no one had on the mask. See, I guess it depends on where you go. All right, y'all. I guess if you get kicked off of a platform, you just go buy it or, start your own. Kanye, whatever you want to call him. he's buying, I guess the correct pronunciation is parlor, or parlor. I, I don't know. It's Parler. Now, he's buying it. I guess, got must buying Twitter. I guess ye gonna buy this one. It is what it is, I guess, right? But anyway, he's saying that he wants it to be free speech. Everybody can say whatever they want to. Nobody's gonna get kicked off. Why don't you just go over to Truth Social? What the other do? All voices are welcome. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He said anybody can come on there. He don't care if it's misinformation, disinformation or not. He said everybody welcome. All right, y'all go ahead and do that if you want to. Because if you ask me, disinformation is on the ballot. Everything's on the ballot. I don't think we understand the urgency to this midterm election. It's on the ballot. So first, let me say this. NPR reports with misinformation running rampant in certain corners, officials are worrying that some poll workers may try to interfere with the voting process this fall. Now, in addition to that, y'all, there are still availability for poll workers for the November the 8th election. There are many places that are begging for people to sign up. You can sign up by going to powerthepolls.org/NewsInMotion. Again, powerthepolls.org/NewsInMotion. You go through there and you sign up. There is a stipend that's involved, even when it comes to training. You want to check it out. I will say this again. The polling locations that will close first are not the polling locations that we can easily get to. It will be the polling locations that are in the what I call disadvantaged, marginalized, and the poor communities. We want everyone to be able to vote. And then we may not know if those polling locations are open or closed until the day of. And then for some people, it's too late. They're frustrated. They don't have transportation. They may not be on a bus line, so forth and so on. So y'all listen, if you have the capacity and availability to become a poll worker, now let's be honest, it's an extremely long day. It is an extremely long day, but it is worth it to do your civic duty, to be civically engaged in the work as a constituent within the community to make sure everyone votes. So I just want to put that out there again. I see you, Tracy Burrs. I see you, Stephanie Beveridge Hall. Good morning. All right. So there is a mounting concern that temporary election workers are being recruited and trained by organizations with the intent to undermine security and trust in the election process. All right, y'all. Now, the Bipartisan Policy Center said in its brief, there are laws, guidelines, and precautionary measures officials take to ensure a fair and secure election process takes place. Steps including training for temporary workers, codes of conduct, and oaths taken by staffers, as well as working in teams for peer oversight. So y'all, all of that is happening. We have to be aware. So please put these two numbers in your smartphone, your tablets, in your wallet, whatever you want to do to make sure you have it on you, even if you early vote. So the first one is the election. Let me look at it. The Election Protection Hotline. We have it up on the screen. It is 1-866-R-VOTE. 1-866-R-VOTE. I'll say it again. 1-866-R-VOTE. If you are uncomfortable, if you feel threatened, if someone's intimidating you, just don't get into an altercation with the person. Go to your car or walk away or whatever and call that number. Let them know the location you're at. Let them know what happens. Just let them know and stay on site, because when someone shows up, you will be able to have that one-on-one conversation with them. So please alert. The other one is the U.S. Department of Justice Voting Rights Hotline. That number is 800-253-3931. Again, 800-253-3931. There's also a TTY line for the Voting Rights Hotline, and that number is 877-267-8971. Isaiah is on it today. He always is. Again, that's up on the screen if you are viewing it. If you are listening by audio and you want to write this down, The TTY line is 877-267-8971. People, pass these numbers on to other folks. Please do so. All right. Here's where I'm going today, because this is on the ballot. This is on the ballot. Y'all, the election deniers, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So I took my time. It took me a couple weeks to pull all this together for you, but I want you to know. All right. So far, different outlets have been able to identify 345 candidates who will be on the ballot, who are on the ballot right now for everyone who's early voting. And on the ballot on November the 8th, there are 345 candidates who are election deniers. They are election deniers. They have expressed election denial beliefs, false claims that the presidential election in 2020 was flawed. Now, all of them, all 345 of them, are running as Republicans. The most important group, I want y'all to hear this: governors, secretaries of state. Secretary of states determine how we're going to, what we need and all that stuff to get out here and vote. I just want y'all to know this. I want y'all to know this. Secretaries of states and attorney generals, they consist of candidates for statewide offices who, if they are elected, have a great deal to say about how elections in their state will run in the future. The second group are members of Congress who are running. They don't really have control over the election administration unless they just vote for the Voting Rights Act. But if this happens and you get these 345 deniers in all of these positions, you can kiss that goodbye. So I want to take my time and give y'all this information. I spent a lot of time researching this, so hopefully y'all have pen and paper, and if you hear your state, pay attention. Y'all, number of election deniers by state and are on what people are saying are a Trump voter for 2024. Alaska, there's 6. Alabama, these are 6 people on your ballots, which means you have to do your homework. You have to study and get an idea of who these individual people are. Alabama, there are 11. Arkansas, 1. Arizona, 31. California, 15. And when I give you the numbers, these are the election deniers that are running on the ballot for the midterm elections this year, 2022, November the 8th. California, 15, Colorado, 5, Connecticut, 1, Delaware, 1, Florida, 21, Georgia, 19. Georgia, you started early voting on yesterday. Iowa, 1, Idaho, 3, Illinois, 6, Indiana, 4, Kansas, 5, Kentucky, 1, Louisiana, 4, Massachusetts, 4, Maryland, 5, Maine, 1, Michigan. Y'all, in the state of Michigan, there are 24 election deniers on the ballots in Michigan. Mike Nicholson says, Gail, ain't nobody studying. Better put that on a blog post. That's just so sad. See, that's what's wrong with us, Mike Nicholson. Thank you for posting that in here. That's what's wrong with us. We just say, oh, there's the commercial. Oh, that's what this person said. Oh, this is what the news says. So this is how I'm going to go vote. No. I had someone tell me yesterday, and I'm going to come back to the rest of the election deniers. I had someone say to me yesterday, they said, I think I was supposed to vote for Tammy, but I also saw a Jamie, and it was a T-A-M-I and a J-A-M-I. And I said, well, what was her last name? I don't know. I just voted. I said, are you kidding me? We have to stop doing that, people. We have to stop doing that. Know who you're voting for and why you are voting for them. Pastor Alex says the My Vote Ballotpedia mobile app is awesome. It is phenomenal. Thank you for putting that out there, y'all. If y'all go to Ballotpedia, you can download the app, or if you want to go on the regular website, is www.ballotpedia.org. Y'all, Isaiah is in it. Misha says, you're teaching, Auntie, and we need it. Listen, I'm trying. So back to this. So Michigan, 24 election deniers. Yes, Jeff Payne, we have to study and research. Y'all, so Minnesota, 6, Missouri, 7. And again, these numbers are the election deniers that are on the ballot. Mississippi 3, Montana 5, North Carolina 8, North Dakota 2, New Hampshire 2, New Jersey 1, New Mexico 2, Nevada 8, New York 6, Ohio 8, Oklahoma 5, Oregon 4, Pennsylvania 37 election deniers are on the ballot for this midterm election in Pennsylvania. 37. Y'all remember, these are governors, secretary of states. These secretary of states write the laws for what's going to happen when it comes to what you need for voting. Don't miss this. We have to. I don't know if we missed history in high school and in college. I don't know what it is, but I have come in contact with so many people who are like, well, there's no connection. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? There's a direct connection. That's what I do. That's what I do. And I get passionate about it because I want us to understand. I want us to understand. South Carolina has 6. Tennessee has 9. Texas has 21. Texas has 21 election deniers, starting with the governor. Anyway, Utah 3, Virginia 3, Vermont 2, Washington 3, Wisconsin 21 election deniers. Come on in here, Mandela. Let's do this. Wisconsin 21, West Virginia 2, Wyoming 2. So y'all, that's just giving y'all an idea. Now, y'all, again, elected officials, governors, secretary of states, attorney general. Y'all, there are election deniers in that list I just gave you who are running for attorney general. That's what's happening. Candidates for the U.S. House and Senate and state legislative candidates. These are the people. Now, out of that group, it shows 131 who are running for House and Senate look like they could win. Yeah. 14 when it comes to governor, secretary of states, and attorney generals appear to they have a strong possibility of winning. State legislative candidates, 54, have a strong possibility of winning. I thought it was important for me to pause and to give you that information. Y'all, election deniers, everyone who's tuning in, go to your state, do your research, go to ballotpedia.org, download the app, get a scorecard, a grade card on the candidates who are running. You have this information at your fingertips. Do not sleep on this. Do not. So why am I sharing this? Today I want to talk about the GOP. Yeah, I'm fair and balanced. I want to talk about GOP. Next week, we're going to talk about the Democrats. So, some of us, we need to stop being afraid to go to their websites and pull their information. Stop being afraid of getting the emails. I showed you the email I got from the former guy last week calling me, dear friend, we are not friends. Okay, no. Talking about, I just have 45 words. He needed money. He needs, and anybody who's still giving him money after everything that has been coming out, something's wrong there. Something's wrong. So do not be afraid. We get so we're like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to see. You better go see what they're talking about. So I went and I found what they called their report card. And this is called the Commitment to America. So I'm going to be fair and balanced. I'm going to go through this. And they talk about an economy that's strong. Okay, that's what they're playing with because inflation is, it's kicking our behinds. So the first point they have is fight inflation and lower the cost of living. Okay, as an educated voter, we should be asking the candidates who are running on this platform, which are the Republicans, explain to me how you're going to fight inflation. And we should not walk away until we've become satisfied with their answer. We should ask, well, how are you going to lower the cost of living? How are you going to do that? So there's one. The next one is make America energy independent and reduce gas prices. Really? So aren't you deniers of the electric vehicles? Because that's one way you can, do something with gas prices. And I'm not for or against y'all. I'm giving y'all just the way we need to think and ask questions and go from there. Okay. So, well, exactly how are you going to lower them? That becomes a soundbite every election. So tell me how you're going to lower gas prices. What is that going to look for? Yes, that's right. MK Walker asked specific questions. Strengthen the supply chain and end dependence on China. Really? Well, how are you going to strengthen the supply chain when there's still gridlock out there in the ocean? Explain that to me. Are you going to put helicopters down on top of the containers, fill them up, and take the helicopters out? What are you going to do exactly? Can you tell us about this? Sounds good. This is a problem with the Democrats right now. But how are you going to fix this? What is it that you're going to do? Now, a nation that's safe. I'm so sick of this one. But secure the border and combat illegal immigration. How are you going to do that? By renting out a jet and flying on the Martha's Vineyard? Exactly what are you going to do here? Explain to me how this is going to work. Reduce crime and protects public safety. Really? How are we doing that? How are we going to do that? Well, what are we going to do with that 15-year-old that just took lives of people in Raleigh, North Carolina? What are we going to do about that? What are we doing about that? Defend America's national security. Well, what does that look like exactly? It says support our troops. Well, what have we been paying the troops and those who have come home? What are we doing to help with mental health with our military? What are we doing with the base? What are we doing now? Why are you waiting until 2022 to talk about this? Future that's built on freedom. Make sure every student can succeed and give parents a voice. What does that mean? You didn't even want to go with the student debt relief. Well, what's going on with that? When there's people in the chamber that's had PPP loans, they were forgiven. They were in millions of dollars. You ain't complain about that because they're your people. So how you going to do that? How are we going to have this fair fight here? What are we going to do here? Achieve longer, healthier lives for America. Really? Well, why is it that we have all these people in all these different states talking about senior programs? They're fighting for money for senior programs. And y'all watch that one if you're in Franklin County and in Delaware County in the state of Ohio, because the wording is real tricky. So make sure you know which way you want to go with that. Confront big tech and demand fairness. Really? We doing that? Okay. Yeah, talk about that, because I remember that Obama's administration put something in play. The former guy's administration took it away, and now we're getting all kinds of stuff, getting hacked and everything else. So explain that to me. Just explain that to me. A government that's accountable. Can we start with the former guy? Are we going to make sure he's accountable? What are we doing here? What we doing here? Make this make sense. Preserve our constitutional freedoms. Okay. Hold Washington accountable. Really? Restore the people's voice. We are talking. You're not listening. The other thing that they say they're going to, when you dig into some of this, let me pull out some of what we're seeing. And I pulled a lot of this off of Mother Jones magazine, because when I went to dig into it, a lot of it is right on point. So some of it will be there. Some of it I'm going to give my commentary to. And I promise you I'll wrap this up. When they're talking about freedom, they're also talking about restricting. Yeah, they're talking about restricting different bills, restricting voting rights, restricting Title V, restricting grants, restricting clinics, restricting prescriptions, restricting birth control prescriptions. They're restricting. So where's the freedom? You're restricting. Make this make sense. Slashing. They're talking about slashing programs that help low-income families. When I dug into that one, let me see if I can get this open. When I dug into that one, what they're talking about, if you hear the spin and the soundbite from Kevin McCarthy, he's talking about the elimination of low-income home energy assistance programs, which help poor families. But if you go to the Inflation Reduction Act, which they're calling the IRA, if you go to that goes against what it is that they're doing. Actually, the Biden administration with the Inflation Reduction Act is really taking care of these families. Eliminating government agencies is what they're talking about when they're talking about the National Labor Relations Board, the independent federal agency that protects workers. They're talking about eliminating these things. Then we have reversing federal recognition of transgender Americans. They really want to just be done with that away. So how are you going to have freedom and you want to get rid of and cut all these things? Kneecapping the EAP and rolling back climate change initiatives. They've already been very vocal on their platform talking about how they're going to reverse all that. Y'all can't miss these things. Y'all cannot miss them. Now, they're really wanting to expand gun rights. They want to really change the law that was just put in effect, and they want to expand gun rights. They want to end birthright citizenship. They're coming after dreamers. I talked about that last week. Now, y'all get this one. Get this one. And I don't want any of us to forget this when we vote. I did on last week, but listen, don't forget it. When they're talking about prescriptions, they're talking about blocking. This is a GOP blocking prescription drug pricing reform. Let's talk about this. Let me go to my notes because I made some serious notes here. I love this new system I have. Now, I just want y'all to know. I want to remind everybody that every single Republican voted against lowering costs for Americans when it comes to prescriptions. Every last one of them voted against. So how you gonna fix that? Why is this on your scorecard? Why? And y'all can go to the scorecard. Y'all don't be afraid to go to their website. Just go to the website. Just see it. Rosanna Bibbins says, take your time when you're voting. Don't feel rushed. I had to look up some people before I voted for them while I was there who I wasn't familiar with. Y'all, you can go to ballotpedia.org or download the app and do a sample ballot and research it, study it before you even leave to go vote. Don't forget that. All right, y'all, so let's just go with this. Now, the Inflation Reduction Act will drive down costs by allowing Medicare to directly negotiate the price of prescription drugs for the first time. Yet not a single GOP lawmaker crossed the aisle to help middle-class families. Let's talk about this. Yesterday. Now you can get hearing aids over the counter, which lowered that amount. Yesterday, because of the Inflation Reduction Act, you can now do that. But yet, where is it? The GOP didn't want that in there. They wanted to take that out. So, y'all, these are the questions we need to ask. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I want us to all hear this. And we just can't take it from News in Motion. We also have to run and share it with somebody else. If y'all are liking what I'm saying, hit that heart or hit that thumbs up so I know if I'm feeling y'all or not. Also, the IRS Commissioner Charles Redtag said that the IRA funding, and the IRA meaning I don't know why they called this the IRA, but anyway, because people are really confused. The Inflation Reduction Act. Let me go back to that. Funding would not increase audits of households making less than $400,000 per year. But now remember, you have the GOP saying something different. So we have to pay attention to what is happening. But again, y'all, every single Republican voted against lowering costs for Americans. The Republicans also voted against taking insulin down to $35. So their commitment to America does not add up. It does not add up. It does not add up. Doesn't do it. So y'all, all of that is on the ballot. Let me see what some of you are saying. I didn't realize we are right at 7:59. There's a lot that's going on. Y'all take your time to really get an idea. Now, the other thing, for everyone who can already early vote, and I think I have my paper on the desk, for everyone who can already go and early vote, do that. So far, Minnesota, South Dakota, Virginia, Wyoming, Illinois, Michigan, Maine, California, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, Arizona, Indiana, Ohio, Georgia, you were yesterday, Iowa, you are tomorrow, Kansas, Rhode Island, and Tennessee, you are all tomorrow, North Carolina, you are Thursday, and Washington, you are Friday. Now, the reason I'm sharing this, y'all, the weather is changing. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. So listen, go ahead and early vote. Get it out the way. Get it out the way. Early vote, get it out the way. So you don't have to worry about rain or snow or sleet or tornadoes or hurricanes or anything. Just go ahead and register. Go ahead and go and vote. Go ahead and do it. Just get it out the way. You can early vote in those states. By next week, we will have pretty much all except 8 states. But now remember, 8 states, you can actually go and register and vote all at the same time. That, we should all be able to do that. Okay. But y'all, this is serious. I know I have fun when I'm talking about, when I'm talking about it's on the ballot. I want to make it fun to engage us so that we really understand. But again, don't just take my words for it. Go and research this information for yourself. It's really important. Mike Nicholson saying, Gail, did Gail say tomatoes? I didn't say tomatoes. Jackie says, I'm waiting on my absentee ballot to arrive. Oh, speaking of that, there was a news piece yesterday on that. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for saying this. Yeah, there was a news piece yesterday that talked about make sure you put the right amount of postage on your absentee ballot. Make sure if it's one page, it's a certain amount of money. If it's a 2-pager, it's a different type amount of money. So make sure you go into the post office. Yeah, we got to work to vote. It's okay. It's okay. We're talking one time. Make sure you have the right amount of postage. You do not want it to return back and then it's too late to send it in. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you are doing that. Y'all, here's the inspirational message. I know there's a whole lot that we give, a whole lot that we put out there, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm looking at everything that's unfolding. I'm honestly not worried about this election. I shouldn't say that out loud, but I'm really not worried. I'm not worried for 2 reasons. One, I don't think that the polls are correct this time. They haven't been in a while. Okay. I don't think they're correct. That's number one. Number 2, the number of women who are registering to vote, who have registered to vote, in the millions. I mean, like 2-3 weeks straight, millions of women were coming out voting to register to vote. So that says something. Now I know that can go either way, but that says something to me. That says that people are tired and they're waking up. The other reason is my inspirational message. I honestly believe that help is on the way. I really do. I really do. I honestly believe that help is on the way. So I have one here in the inspirational message. Hold on. Help is on the way. And here's the truth. Even if the election goes a totally different direction than what some of us are hoping it would go, they're not in charge. There's one, and for those of you who are joining us by Twitter, again, thank you. I'm so glad to be on this platform. And I've been talking about this. I'm not hiding this. And if you Google me, you will see everything that I write, my books I've published, everything. I am a follower of Jesus. I'm a believer of Jesus. I just want to make sure I'm transparent about that. So I believe ultimately that God's in charge. I really do. I really do. So y'all, hold on. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. John 15, chapter 1, new NIV, New International Version. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So y'all, we just have to hold on. We have to just stay connected to the true vine. We have to just stay connected. We just have to hold on. You know, it's so easy to become very stressful. They're talking about how anxiety levels are starting to rise the closer we are getting to November the 8th. And they were talking about how often people will just break out or they become depressed or they decide they're just not going to vote. Listen, we cannot live or operate that way. We can't do it. We cannot live or operate that way. We have to hold on to that true vine, to our true vine, knowing that she is our help, period. Our help, our help. There's no way that we survived. I talked about yesterday what we survived. We survived the former guy. We survived the former guy. If we could survive the former guy, we can survive anything else that's coming. But I do believe we need to be educated voters. And I do believe we need to understand who these election deniers are. Now, if you still want to vote for them, you go ahead and do whatever you want to. You do what you feel is necessary for you, for your household, for your legacy, all of that. You vote that way. But if election deniers get into those main offices, Attorney General, Secretary of State, Governor, U.S. House of Representative, or Senator, we're in trouble. Now, I still believe we're going to get through. I still believe that with everything. And someone said something interesting on Twitter yesterday. They said maybe, just maybe, they all need to win their positions so that the party can just fall on the inside. And then maybe we could really have bipartisanship later. That's a risky one, but it made me go, It made me pause and say, let's talk about this. So, y'all, there's a lot on the table. There's a lot on the table. Do your research, get away from those commercials, watch the debates, go to town hall meetings, ask the necessary questions, do your sample ballot from ballotpedia.org or the Ballotpedia app. Check out the lincolnproject.us. They have a lot of great content and information that's out there. Go to canivote.org, I believe. Y'all, there's a lot of resources we have put out here. Thank you, Isaiah. We have put out here for you to take hold of. There's too much information we have shared. We also have the Ready Publication Resource Guide. If you have not gotten your copy of the magazine, that's available on MagCloud. We'll put the link in the thing. But there's also a separate supplemental section that we pulled out just for you, and you can get it free. You can get it free. You can get this free. Just hit the digital download is free. I think we have an image we can put up. Just scan that barcode, that QR code. You can hit the digital and get the digital completely free. Completely free. Why wouldn't you want a free resource? Get the digital. Thank you, Isaiah. If you want the actual magazine, all the articles are talking about ready to vote, people, prayer, politics, democracy. That link will be on the thread as well. Again, we are now on Twitter. I think we have an image for that. Thank you to all of our Twitter viewers. We're trying to work through how to get your chat over here on our side so we can communicate that way. But we are now on Twitter, and we noticed a huge change. So that was a platform we were not connecting with, and we just want to say thank you for tuning in and joining us. All right, y'all. Again, be careful with that Omicron subvariant that is out there. BQ1 and BQ1.1 already it's I believe I said 10%. I'm now doing it off the top of my head. I believe it's a 10% increase of cases. They doubled even within 1 week, which was last week. They're paying very close attention to that. Do what you will. If you do get that booster, my arm is on fire. And this was since yesterday morning. This booster is a different kind of booster. And again, I do it for a couple of reasons. One, my parents are older. My mom is still somewhat bedridden. And I do it to protect them when I go into their home. So I wanted to make sure that I'm healthy and I have the protection necessary. Davey has said, yes, be careful. My son was very sick. This shot is no joke. My arm is on fire. And I never had this reaction from the initial shot before. I'm telling you, I turned over. I thought I was going to jump out of bed. It was painful, and it's painful to even touch. So if y'all get that, I would say drink plenty of water and do take some sort of pain reliever. I don't know. I'm not pushing any pills on here. I can't tell you what to do there. But just drink a lot of water, something I did not do yesterday. But even still, this one, it's sit different. All right, y'all, until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. This has been News in Motion. Y'all know what I say. Stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.